Hey guys, so welcome to another Smith Wesson M&P video. What I'm showing you here is a basic stock full-size Smith Wesson M&P 9mm. I purchased another one of these pistols so I can do some modifications. So what I'm showing you here is just a basic stock picture so you can get a good picture of what this pistol looked like when I purchased it. And now we'll roll into what the pistol looks like now.
I'll just show you here. Nothing in the chamber, nothing in the magazine. So this is the finished pistol here. As you can see, I haven't done any stipple work at all on the frame of this pistol. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not, only because I do a lot of training, and if you have ever worked with a handgun that has had aggressive stippling, and you do it for a 7 and 8 hour day, your hands and your fingers end up getting pretty raw, depending on how you hold the pistol. And if you get a master grip, then your fingers rubbing here underneath the trigger guard, which I tend to stipple, as well as through here, you're going to get a lot. And then I also tend to put some stipple work right in here for this thumb, and that tends to get rubbed pretty raw. So I've decided not to do anything at this point. I'm just going to shoot it, work with it, do some training with it, and then make a decision based on that whether or not I'm actually going to do any further stippling to the pistol. So other than that, I'll start from the top and work down. Trijicon RM02. This is the 6.5 MOA red dot, as you can see through there. Sights are blacked out, so everything does co-witness, as you can see, or I'm sorry, I hope you can see through here. Just like that, red dot on target, and you're hitting what's there. If you line it up straight like that, you're going to shoot a little bit low, but I actually like to float it right here in the middle. So that's how I like to shoot. That's dead on right there. This has been stippled. I started that and decided that was as far as I was going to go. So other than that, we'll go down to the slide. So the slide is the basic M&P slide. This is not a core pistol. You can see here it doesn't say core, doesn't say Pro Series, and I did not have this slide shaved. So what I did have done was I had this milled out for the red dot. I had the top stippled, I'm sorry, serrated, so this is a half top serration. Also had the serrations added here along both sides. Really helps with manipulations. If you're doing one hand, this easily catches. Of course, this will easily catch on your pants, your belt, your holster. So really I like this. And then I had the slide Cerakoted in a titanium. This is the factory barrel from Smith & Wesson. This is not a Storm Lake threaded barrel. I usually keep the thread protector on whenever I have it in the safe. I take it off when I am going to shoot. So right now it is off. I like the look of the threaded barrel, and of course it being stock really adds value to the overall value to the pistol. Other than that, I have the Apex trigger, and I'll give you a breakdown basically of everything that I did with this Apex. So basically it is the CompAEK trigger kit. It's the metal AEK trigger. I do have an Apex tactical ram installed, which is the reset assisted mechanism, and I'll come back to that in just a second. But I also have the 21st Century Gunfighter, the Costa catalyst magazine release here. This is great. Definitely a must-have, because as you're shooting, a lot of times when I would want to drop a magazine, I would have to shift the pistol slightly in my hand like this to be able to fully depress the mag release. but now I can keep the pistol straight and easily drop the magazine. It's great. It has just enough, I don't want to call it stippling, but these 3 lines that are on there give you just enough to be able to catch it with your thumb. You don't need any aggressive stippling. You don't need to do anything to that. It's really great. Of course, it's ambidextrous if you want to flip it to the other side. Costa catalyst, excellent addition to any pistol, and it's very low cost. So it, as I said, I did have this milled out. Doug Presson did all this work on the slide. So the top serrations, side serrations, milled here. The sights, in case you're wondering, are Ameriglo sights. Again, plain black, suppressor height. I do have a SSS Stainless one-piece non-captured guide rod with spring that I use to replace the standard spring. But the pistol is great so far. I really like everything about it. I have no issues with it whatsoever. I'm really happy with the color. I decided to not stick with black and not to go back with a flat dark earth, which I had done on a few of my pistols. So this titanium still gives me the look of being different without the look of the simple plain black. So let me tell you a little bit about this trigger. I said I was going to go back to that. So this Apex Action Enhancement Trigger, AEK, directly replaces the factory hinge trigger. It's a solid body machined aluminum trigger, and it has a center mounted pivoting safety similar to the Glock. So if I just grab the edge of the trigger here, it can't be pulled. Here the trigger pulls, and you heard that click. So it's very light trigger. So the center mount, of course, prevents any unintended operation by creating a trigger block that you cannot disengage unless you place your finger directly on the trigger face. The flat target style trigger helps you to remember to place just the first phalanx of your finger directly in the center of the trigger. So it really helps with trigger control. Keeps you from really doing the over pull or under pull. And basically what it does is it encourages trigger manipulation directly to the center and directly to the rear when you pull the trigger. It reduces the pre-travel and over-travel by about 20%. So again, it's a very light trigger, much better than the factory trigger. The take-up is just excellent. So something I highly recommend if you haven't done an Apex trigger, or you're considering doing any type of trigger modification. Apex is a great something that you should definitely think about and consider. So this far I've put about 300 rounds through this pistol, and that was just teaching a class, so that's still quite a bit of ammo considering I was teaching and not participating in the class. And the pistol performed great. Sights are dead on. I zeroed this the day before I taught the class and then used it in the class this weekend, so everything went great. I got a lot of compliments on the pistol. The Glock users that were there fired this pistol were very impressed. I think I may have turned a few of the Glock fans into M&P fans now.